Hi folks, Doug here, Ellis Car Customs with another installment of the saga that is Project Nomad. This should be part 143. Hope everybody's doing okay. And you see I'm back in long sleeves because after all it's the middle of June in upstate New York and we should be seeing our breath. It's starting to get ridiculous. Summer may never get here. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome aboard if you just found me by accident and you're wondering what the hell is Project Nomad. Well, briefly if you're new, it's we started out with a two-door hardtop that was basically not even good enough to call a parts car, I guess, and a bunch of Nomad parts, and we married them, and we're hoping it's a long and fruitful relationship. So in the vein of liking to show you when I get things for the car, a package arrived today in a big old box. It's what it says on the box is not what it is. I got this from our friend Jeff, who watches the show, and I'll take it out and show you what it is. I got a good deal on it because it was half the price of everywhere else I was looking to try to find such parts. It was packaged well. It wasn't going to fall apart on me. Let's see. We'll figure it out. Bear with me, folks. I don't want to damage the contents inside. They're made of unobtainium. There we go. What could it be? Very well packaged. Here, I'll bring the camera over so you can see how it's packaged here. This is all the windshield stainless that has to be set in the rubber to install the windshield. And looks like I got, ooh, Jeff, I owe you a big thank you. I know what these are without even taking them out, but I'll take them out anyway. If I can get them out. There we go. This is right here. Remember those pieces? I'll go grab one. Just so you know what I'm talking about. I'll grab this out of here. Remember I took these J channels out and they were rotten? Well, that's what these things are right here. That he threw in. He didn't even tell me when he was shipping them to me. But they got a big old free tag on them. So Jeff, I really appreciate that. Look how sweet these things are. I mean, you know, let me hold one of these up here. You can see how much better they are than the ones I took out. That's awesome. Thank you, Jeff. You guys are great. You really take care of me. So I'll get this unpackaged and then I'll give you a better look at it. This is all the parts unpackaged. There was one of these J channels that was included, which is one more than I had, and like I said, it was free. So maybe if I search around in my parts bin or my parts car, maybe I have a second one, but even still, that gets us one closer to doing what we got to do, and it's greatly appreciated. But as you can see, you had to have these things to install the windshield, because they have this tab right there that goes in the rubber as it's installed. You can't put it in afterwards. That has to be in the rubber before the rubber goes into the windshield channel. So I was, until I had these, I was sort of screwed as far as putting the windshield in. I couldn't do it because I had to have them. And I think they'll clean up good. I cleaned up this one section. It took me 5 seconds to do with fine steel wool that, you can see the difference in the shine. Go over it with some fine steel wool and then hit it with some polish afterwards, and it'll look brand new. So yeah, it's always nice to get the parts that'll move you a step closer. The only thing I'm missing is there's little clips that go, let's see if I can do this, where these two attach together. There's a little clip that goes in there. That's the one thing that he didn't have for the top and the bottom, but those clips, if I don't have one kicking around or whatever, or you need two, they're not too expensive, not compared to all the rest of this stuff. Alright, we're going to get to work. Okay, I lied. I almost got back to work, but I wanted to show you guys one more thing. This is one of the ribs that goes in the tailgate. And like I said, they're obviously pretty terrible. And I was thinking I was going to have to grind these things and paint them chrome or something, try to make them look as good as I could. Because they get $700 for these things. And then when I was looking for some parts in my attic, lo and behold, I discovered I have a set of them that are not nearly as bad as that one. So yeah, these actually will polish up nicely. So compared to like this one here, all the deep pitting and all that stuff, these have just very minimal pitting, and I just ran a little piece of steel wool on the end of that there, and I think these will shine up nice and be presentable. Not Barrett Jackson quality, but Ellis Car Customs quality. Alright, I'm going to work. welded up a piece of metal on the bottom lip of the door there, and then put our rough coat of fiberglass mixed with filler on there, just to make that gap as nice as the one we got on the side there. So this is just starting to tack up, but we'll rough it out and then put a skim coat on, and hopefully things will go nicely. So that's the final rough out. So all we got to do is do our final sand on that, and that should be golden. So I hope so. Let's find out. Oh, Bondo night. So we've got this side to the same point as the other side, where just need a little spot putty here or there to touch it up. But other than that, it's more or less ready for paint. I don't think it came out. Let me see if I can get back here where you can see. I don't think it came out too bad where I had to stretch that door. It's not a obvious case of butchery. It looks fairly decent. So I won't hang my head in shame there. And close the thing up here as if it were latched. With the primer on there, you can see it don't look too bad. See if I can turn your right side up. So yeah. So I guess we'll call that a win, and the next video will be starting on the infamous tailgate content. Working on the jambs of the tailgate to get that squared away, and hopefully it goes well, and won't be no complaints. So that's what we've got for you in this episode, everybody, friends and neighbors. Hopefully it's long enough that you had time to at least finish your beer before you took off. Once again, I want to thank, I hope I don't butcher his last name, Jeff Dullea or Dullea. I guess it depends on how you pronounce the E. But Jeff sourced those stainless parts for my windshield and got them for me for a fair price. I'm more than happy with them, and they're going to go a long ways towards getting that buttoned up in the front. So Jeff, thank you. I'm 3 or 4 episodes ahead of you all. I've been trying to get episodes in the can in case something happens where I can't work on the project for a day or 2 or 3 or whatever, so I would still have something to put up. So as of the time I'm recording this episode, I was like 18 people away from 2,000, so chances are by the time this episode goes up, if everybody still loves me, I'll hit that 2,000. So maybe we'll do a special episode coming up on that. But once again, likes and comments are appreciated because they help everybody to find me out there in the forest that they call YouTube. And I appreciate everything that you say and do for me. So come back next time and we'll be messing around with this tailgate, and I'll show you what all I got to do to make it look good, and you can follow along with me as we paint by numbers. Till next time, take care everybody. See ya. Don't want to forget the boys. I'll show you what always awaits me when I'm done in the garage. Come on, buddy. He's following me. Especially when I'm late for their dinner. You guys hungry? Huh? You hungry? So yeah, they're all gathered on the porch, waiting for their food. Right, Fathead? That's Fathead. So I'm gonna feed my kitties.